Game Manchester United versus Liverpool. We're going to preview it today. United, not so great a start to the season. One draw, one loss. Liverpool, two wins under their new manager. Welcome back to the channel. We're going to look at the big game preview and see who will make it. I'll not be doing this alone. Delali is here with me. Gijo is here with me. Bannerman, for the first time on this channel, is also joining us. Subscribe if you haven't. Click on that notification bell to get more updates. So let's jump right into it. Delali, Manchester United versus Liverpool. Hi, this young.
Tough match here because remember the last time I told you that United are going to lose. So I think United won their first game and then they lost their
second game to Brighton.
So they have like 1 point, 3 points. So I think I watched United play and I watched Brighton also play. And I was pretty much certain that United will lose against Brighton because of Brighton's tempo. And the fact that United always struggle to match up opponents that play with high level of tempo, teams that play high up the pitch, press is so high. United lacks defenders that have that ability. Their centre backs are flat-footed players that lacks that ability to press high up and also cannot even run when it's counter break. So I knew that if Brighton plays in that similar pattern, United were going to lose. And I think Liverpool, in as much as they've not really developed into what we want.
I think they are playing similar to what they played at our club, and Slot is smart in doing that. Actually, he's smart in doing that.
And Slot is doing pretty much well, getting the boys to play not really far away from what Jurgen Klopp was trying to play with his squad. Stretch the opponents, use the wingers, do a lot of crosses, and also use counter breaks. I think now they are very good with counter breaks. You look at the last weekend, they scored such a against Brentford. They scored a very similar goal. So for me, if Liverpool plays anything very similar
to that
of Brighton or to that of what we saw the previous weekend, it will be a very tough game for Manchester United. And for me, I'm not just saying United cannot win. Obviously, this is a tough game. United are very good when it comes to playing tough opponents.
Yeah.
So they would show up and come and play. But also, it's very early in the season. So you don't really have the momentum. It's strictly based on how good you are and how ready you are for the game. It's very close, but I think United may struggle.
United have a new signing from PSG. Yeah. Do you think he should start? And how influential? What change will he bring that the players there are not able to implement for Manchester United?
Actually, I don't think Manu Ugarte will start.
Maybe a substitute?
Not even a substitute, because they have a problem with registering players. But he hasn't been registered on time that way to be able to feature in a Premier League game. So probably he's not going to be even on the bench for Manchester United. But that being said, Manu Ugarte is a very good
looking at the future games, basically. That's why I asked that. Yeah,
he's going to be a very influential player for them. They needed a ball-winning midfielder who can also tackle, do interceptions, and also cover a lot of space on the pitch. And I think Manu Ugarte brings that on board when you look at that midfield. They don't have much of it because of the current form of Casemiro. You know, Casemiro is growing and he doesn't actually provide that level of intensity in that midfield, because there's going to be a lot of pressure now on Kobe Mainoo to do that. And clearly we saw it in the first two games. The young guy was over. Like, he has been used beyond his limits, you get it, because he has been too much role. He's playing a role of a number 8 at the same time number 6, because Casemiro cannot do the running anymore, and
they're overworking the guy.
Very good. So Kobe Mainoo is a very good lad, but I don't think
he should be managed. His minutes should be managed.
Basically, I think that Manu Ugarte coming in will ease the pressure on Kobe Mainoo. Manu Ugarte will do a lot of the work, a lot of the running. Kobe Mainoo will play like a CM to sort of a number 8. Going forward more, you see more of him in terms of giving more passes into the final third. And that will also help Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes wouldn't have to track back and do a lot of defending as well. So Manu Ugarte is a very good signing on all cylinders. I think Erik ten Hag is getting it right in terms of bringing some quality players. I think the late signing is very good. Managerial as well has been a great addition so far.
Up for player of the month.
Yes, Managerial provided a brilliant assist against Brighton, which led to the Amant's goal, and that is they scored only just 2 goals in the competitions in the Premier League so far. That being said, coming to a Liverpool game, it's going to be a tough one for Manchester United because of the way Liverpool has started the season, 2 wins out of 2, and Slot has done a really great job. If you look at the way they are playing, you never even know he's a new manager coming in because of they're still keeping that momentum very high, playing the same type of football. The tempo is
And he's
there.
smart to still implement what
Very good.
Klopp was already doing.
Yeah, so I think Mo Salah as well is a player that a lot of people are not talking about. He's still keeping the same consistency despite
Yeah.
his age. And looking at how he has started the season so far is amazing. He has scored in each
Yeah.
of the games that they've played so far. So, and Slot coming to Old Trafford is a big one for him as a manager because he said it in the presser that when he was coaching at AZ Alkmaar, they came to United's Old Trafford
Yeah.
and lost 4-0 to always United. So there's a big game for him
Yeah.
as a manager facing Ten Hag, another Eredivisie manager there. So both Dutch coaches, it's going to be a Dutch derby for the managers as well. But that being said, I think it's going to be a tough game for Manchester United. I don't think they'll win the game. I don't think United can win.
Their best to be a draw, in your opinion.
I think they should go for a draw because they have to be pragmatic. Going to this game, you can't match Liverpool boot for boot.
Especially at Anfield.
It's going to be
It's at Old Trafford, okay.
Despite it's going to be at Old Trafford, I think, every time has to be pragmatic. Get the results, and then because after the international break, then you can play what you want to play because then you are facing the likes of Southampton, and you get it. Because if you lose this game, it's going to put a lot of pressure on you. Then
early
they're going
on
to
in
come
the
at you
season.
early on in the season, and you've already lost to Brighton, so you have to just be pragmatic. Go for a safe draw. Get your results. Calm the nerves down in terms of the media outrage on you and all that. Because now Mason Mount is also out injured. You have a lot of players that are injured. So after the international break, you can have some of these players back. The likes of Luke Shaw will be back by then, I'm sure. Hoyland, who is also injured, will be back after the international break. So this is an important game for Manchester United. If they lose, everything is going to be around a lot of pressure.
Too much pressure.
And it will affect the team.
Yeah.
So I think you should just be pragmatic, go into the game, get your draw. If you win, fine. Best of it all. But I think it's going to be a tough one for Manchester United.
Jason, Ten Hag has been sort of supported and backed in this window. They spent a lot. It's his third season. He's won 2 trophies, you say. 2 trophies, maybe some would say not so significant, but 2 trophies nonetheless. Is this a make or break season for him?
I think I'll go with the naysayers and say that it's a make or break for everything Hag. I mean, when you look at him coming in from Ajax, I mean, there was a lot of expectations from him because people felt that once he's been able to achieve a lot with Ajax and coming into Manchester United, he would be able to repeat the feat. But in the last 3 seasons, the signings he's made, he's being backed heavily when you look at the transfer window.
Yeah.
Because if you are spending in excess of £100 million to get a player like Anthony who has been able to replicate the feat back at Ajax, I feel that I mean, someone like Anthony like this, I mean, to lay much emphasis on him, the guy hasn't impressed. There's been games where we've seen Anthony play and I mean, it doesn't speak volume of a player that cost £100 million. Then again, the other players like Ahmad that should have been getting chances but were not given. There are times that when Mason Mount was fit, playing Mason Mount on the right side of attack, I mean, Mount is not somebody
Mason Mount's not being able to keep fit.
You understand? This is somebody that plays centrally. This is somebody that you could use as an 8 or a 10. But then you look at the player profiles you are bringing in, you are looking at the positions you are playing these players as to whether they'll be able to get you the required results. I mean, in the last few seasons, I've seen Manchester United play under Erik ten Hag. I've not been impressed with the pattern of play. They play with low intensity. They play as a side that are not coached at all. Because look at other sides like Manchester City, not to draw comparisons. You are looking at Manchester City.
At least you notice a pattern of play.
There should be something that the fans should be happy about, seeing that, oh, this is a side that is well coached. This is a side that is playing for this or that. Because in the last few seasons, I mean, on the pitch, Manchester United have been close to abysmal. They haven't inspired hope or belief. They haven't even given fans any desirable results on the field. And it's been one defeat after the other preposterous on the field. The fact that they play to no, records, it spells doom. And in this match against Liverpool, 2 games, one at home against Fulham. I wasn't inspired with Manchester what they played against Fulham. I felt Fulham didn't take their chances.
It would
in
have
that
been
particular-
another
they
story.
would have
Fulham, I
buried
think.
Manchester United
Yes,
and
that
now-
one.
Back
Yeah.
in-
And even
United was
with the
just all
game
over the
against
place.
Brighton, you could see that Brighton under the former manager, this guy, the guy that left
Deserby.
Deserbi, you could see.
Something similar. It's like they continue from where he
You
left off.
understand? Because when coaches come in, they don't make wholesale changes. It's a gradual changes so that you can implement your vision on the boys. You look at the way Brighton played against Manchester United. You saw the purpose. You saw the way they wanted to attack. You saw the way when they were not with the ball, they were actually defending. Because that is how it should be. But Manchester United play and you're like, are they training? Like, do these guys train, or it's all about the IG pictures and all those things? Because sometimes you want Manchester.
The hunger is not there, in my
The
opinion. I
motivation
think
is not there.
if you look back at old clips of Manchester United team and how a young Nani, a young Anderson, a young Ronaldo, a young
Cristiano,
Rooney,
Park
you see the hunger in their eyes.
The tempo with which United plays football now is a bit slow.
It's slow,
and-
lethargic.
and-
It's like they are being forced to play.
And also,
Whilst being paid a lot of money.
But it's not really about. It's not. I think it's basically coaching and how the coach wants them
Yeah,
to play.
it's the
'Cause
coaching is part.
If
The
you look
back
at
always
Chelsea,
ends to the
the last
manager.
Chelsea game that they played, that they scored 5 goals.
Yeah.
Not as much as they were not really
6.
extremely 6. Not as much as they were not really good. You could see some tempo. When they
Yeah,
have the ball.
you
They
could
were
see
very
something.
quick with
You
the
could
ball.
notice a pattern.
Like you could see 2-3 passes. They have to be
Yeah,
the opponent's
yeah.
half. They are very fast, playing wide. Those are the little patterns you want to see in a team. But I watched United this season, and I'm basing my
Disjointed.
opinion strictly based on this season. And you don't really see how the coach wants to play. It's more like he's still trying to try new stuff, playing Bruno Fernandes, whether he's a striker, number 10.
he should play a
Like, just
striker
all
in
over
the
the
striker
place.
position.
Not to interject what Dela is saying, but a player like Bruno Fernandes, if he was in Man City or playing for Real Madrid, there's a guy that's going to hack over, let's say, 40 assists and probably give you like 10 goals at the end of the season. There's a guy that he's underutilized. I feel that Manchester United is underutilizing a player like Bruno Fernandes, because if you are having like maybe a Karim Benzema or maybe Harry Kane in front of,
Bruno.
I mean,
But even now, Bruno is the one rather in front.
In front, and
he was the first nine.
it's not right. Honestly, it's not right.
I think Eric Ten Hag has to be blamed. You look at even the substitutions he did in the Brighton.
Yeah.
Ah.
How will you take on Bruno Fernandes and bring on
The
Scott
game is winning.
McTominay?
He's like, you see that things are going on well for him now. Then you just press the destroy button. Fine.
Fine. Against Man City in the Community Shield,
Yeah.
he brought in Pelestri, that header. Like, there were so many things, so many mistakes he made in that game that could have been avoided. It was his substitutions. But finally, let's get your predictions and where you think the game will be won.
I think that
You can't predict
it's
this
a
one.
bit dicey.
Your heart is telling you.
No.
Your heart is telling you.
Your mind is
But,
telling
telling
you
you.
Liverpool.
crucially, with what I've seen Liverpool play in the last 2 games,
You're worried for United.
I'm worried for the United, because I think a season back, that's when they trashed United 7 or 6.
Yeah,
And this season, you look at the way
things are going.
Trent is playing. You look at the way Van Dijk is pumped up for action.
Luis,
Jota. These are guys that
Diaz
every
and
time
co.
the competition in the setup inspires other boys. It's as if Rashford has lost the hope for playing football. My own is that if Rashford is not living up to expectation, bench him. Let Garnacho play. Let Ahmad play. Let other guys play.
Who are
so that-
hungry enough.
so that if Rashford, because you can't be earning 350, 300 pounds a week and be playing luxury on the
£1,000. Please, it's not
you-
300.
How
Just
much?
meant 300,000. You said 300, 250.
Charlie,
So
the
it's
money
thousand.
it ends up it big, so it be like I make this thing small.
Yeah.
But you see, in the way like someone like Rashford plays, this is a guy that has bundles of talent. I watch Rashford play and I'm like, this guy can be on the same level as Mbappe. He can have the team at the back of him play and will like feel that, oh, this is a guy that can score 30 goals or 40 goals in a season. He plays and he doesn't track back. How can you play in a Man City setup and not track back? Pep will even just take you off the field. Straight up.
So
why is-
prediction.
but why?
Prediction. I'm going for a 2-1 win for Liverpool.
Okay, so 2-1 for
Prediction.
I think, but okay, let me just say that United really need to win this game, and with what we've seen so far this season, even though Liverpool has been very good against Ipswich, the first 45 minutes they were not able to score.
Yeah.
They
They did that in the second half.
Yes, and if you look at they had phases in the game where they struggled. If you look at what Liverpool played, despite their challenges, so I think and it's not, even though he's having a good run, he's not a perfect manager.
Oh, sure,
yet.
sure.
He's not
it
a-
will take time.
It will take time before
Yeah,
he gets
because his first season.
very good. So I think when United as well, these are some of the matches that they usually turn up for. You know, if you look at last season, they didn't play much. They didn't play any. They didn't play well at all.
Yeah.
Throughout the season, but Liverpool failed to beat United last season in the Premier League. If I'm not mistaken, home and away.
Home and away was
Draw.
draw.
They drew at Anfield 0-0. Came
And-
to Old Trafford. It
and beat
ended
them.
2-2 or something. So
It was 2-2.
No, it was
Yeah.
2-2 and then Liverpool won 3-0.
Yes.
Yeah.
No,
Liverpool
that-
won 3-0 at
Old Trafford.
yes, and then
So the 2-2 was
2-2 was Anfield.
Anfield.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's quite similar to what I'm trying to say. That it's going to be a
It's not
difficult.
really like a one-way direction.
Very good. So it's going to be a difficult game. These derbies have their own dynamics. If you look at even Kotoko and House of Folk, when they play, it's not about form.
It's not about form.
Yeah,
It's not about
or
form,
form.
yeah,
Yeah. So it's going to be that type of night for Manchester United. I think they can get a result, and these results can give them momentum going into
the subsequent
subsequent games in the season, because it's going to be an important win for them if they are able to grab a win. I think their best to be a draw, but if they push further, they can win this game by 2-1.
Delali, finally.
I think because the game is being played in the early stages of the season, I think sometimes momentum is not there for you to like grow with the momentum and play against the opponents when your performance is not on the same level with the opponent. And I think that's what United don't have. So maybe they will be counting on it's a derby, you can just show up against
And
Liverpool
get something
play.
out of it.
But if there's a pattern between the last season's own. Last season they played Liverpool very early around August, like similar, right?
Yeah,
Sometime early of the season, and they lost 3-0. But when they went into the middle of the season, it was 2-2.
I think the 3-0 was an international friendly.
No, they're
Now,
international friendly.
It was
Yes,
an
in
international-
US. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think obviously it's going to be a very close game. I think it will always be a very close game because both teams, they have history, and sometimes history also helps. But I think it will be a close game, like a close win for Liverpool, like maybe 2-1, 2-0, 1-0 kind of thing.
Well, I'm going for a 2-1 win for Manchester United, since all of you are saying that.
And I also predicted 2-1 win
For Manchester. Okay. Guys, let us know your predictions in the comments box. Manchester United versus Liverpool will be on Sunday. Yes, the game will be played on Sunday. Let us know what you think in the comments box. We'll see you guys in the next one. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.